Hello. Well, we're not in the car today. We're in one of my favorite places to do videos, my daughter's room. Her art studio, her art sanctuary. She now actually has a nook. I'm actually sitting in her nook right now. Great energy. Wonderful energy. Today, I'm going to address one of the underlying subjects that law of attraction, law of assumption teachings help us with. And also one of the underlying reasons that people fail to get more of what they want in life and fail to feel better. For those of you who don't know, my name's Tim, and I focus more on the failing to feel better and doing what you can to feel better than the outward demonstrations and manifestations. I work with a lot of clients and speak to a lot of people who have fantastic outward manifestation stories, but I'm more interested in what happens on the inside. That's what I help people with. Because I know if you change how you feel on the inside, that your external reality will inevitably shift as well. But I have a kind of a more sober, you might say, mature viewpoint on this than, gosh gee whiz, just about anybody else who consistently makes videos in their daughter's bedroom about manifestation. So one reason that I love LOA, and when I say LOA, I mean law of assumption as well, because they're the same darn thing when you're actually practicing them, at least in my opinion. One reason I love these teachings so much is because they give us a really interesting and I think helpful perspective with how to deal with fear. Because if you're anything like me, and most people I know, fear inadvertently is one of the major driving forces in our life. And so often it makes us feel and act in a way we do not want. You see, you hear a lot about people, doing all these things to get in the end state, right? Live like you're in the end. And yet they don't actually get their manifestation. And the reason for that is because what they don't realize is they're not really living in the end necessarily, because there's too much fear going on subconsciously that they have not worked with or worked through. Fear so often is the elephant in the room that people don't want to look at. For me, that's what I do want to look at. You know, when I started my podcast, Law of Attraction Explored, if you look at or listen to some of the first few episodes, we're explicitly exploring fear. And I'm basically saying this is one good reason to get into LOA, is to look at fear and different ways to handle fear and work through fear and even become friendly with fear. LOA is a great place to do that. There's so many cool teachings that talk about it, including one of my favorite teachers, Joseph Murphy, author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, or as we like to call him on this channel, Joey Murphy. Good old Joey Murphy. We've made a ton of Joey Murphy videos over the years, but not a lot recently. If you look at some of my playlists, you'll find some Joseph Murphy playlists. As a quick aside, Joey Murphy was probably a better SP coach than Neville was. He gave a lot more practical, pragmatic SP romantic relationship advice than Neville ever did. And as I said in my video the other day, I'll put a link above, I also am a better SP coach than Neville, because I deal with the practical and pragmatic, which is one reason I love Joey Murphy. He's very pragmatic, dealing with these kind of esoteric principles, more pragmatic than Neville. So I really like that about him. And listen, if this is one of your first videos here, I love Neville too. Neville's wonderful. He's fantastic. But Neville is much more of a I guess you could say like fantastic teacher, right? Murphy's a little bit more grounded. And both approaches are great, and chances are that we're going to have to use both approaches in our life at various times. Murphy, though, looks at fear really well, gives some very good advice about it. A lot which I've shared before, but I want to go over a few things that he wrote about in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind in regards to fear. He's got a great chapter on fear in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind about removing fear. But before we get to that, I meant to say this earlier. My gosh, I forgot. Next Wednesday, December 18th, next Wednesday, if you're watching this shortly after this video comes out, I'm going to have a free group coaching session. We haven't had one of those in a while. A free group coaching session with Papa Bear Tim at 5 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, December 18th. Wednesday, December 18th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Free group coaching session with Papa Bear Tim. You're welcome to join. If you want to get deep, get some helpful advice, and be in a supportive environment talking about these ideas. The Zoom link will be forthcoming, but if you want to make sure you get the Zoom link, you can email me at info@radicalcounselor.com. Back to Joey Murphy. So yeah, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind Murphy talks about fear really well in there. I'm going to go over a few things here. I could easily do I don't think I've ever done it before. I could easily read this entire chapter in its entirety and go over it. It's fantastic. I'm going to skip parts, but here I'm just going to read a few things of interest here from this chapter. Murphy says, "It is said that fear is man's greatest enemy. Fear is behind failure, sickness, and poor human relations. Millions of people are afraid of the past, the future, old age, insanity, and death. Fear is a thought in your mind, and you are afraid of your own thoughts." Fucking A, man. Joey Murphy. Great guy. What Murphy does so well is he says you have to take responsibility for these fear thoughts you have, these emotions you have, and you have to take kind of a radical responsibility to deal with them sometimes, as we've spoken about time and time again on this channel. He, a couple paragraphs later, is talking about that famous Ralph Waldo Emerson line, that great line, "Do the thing that you are afraid to do, and the death of fear is certain." Murphy says, "There was a time when the writer of this chapter," meaning Joey Murphy, "was filled with unutterable fear when standing before an audience. The way I overcame it was to stand before the audience, do the thing I was afraid to do, and the death of fear was certain." Yeah. When you affirm positively that you are going to master your fears, and you come to a definite decision in your conscious mind, you release the power of the subconscious, which flows in response to the nature of your thought. Holy fucking shit, that is it. Keep in mind, Emile Coué, who heavily influenced Murphy and basically all these New Thought teachers, Coué always said that on a practical level, your subconscious is synonymous with your imagination. So in other words, when you come to a definite decision in your mind, in your conscious mind, that you're going to master your fear or master your fears, you release the powers of your imagination, and they flow in response to the nature of your thought. See, usually the law of reversed effort, as Coué always talked about, takes over. And when we fear something, our imagination works against us, so we fear it more. What Murphy is saying here, and what Coué always talked about, is get yourself in an expectant state of mind consciously to defeat your fear, and your imagination will work for you to defeat what you are scared of. What you feel scared of will no longer scare you. And that is a process, guys, of action. Action. Do the thing you fear. Consciously approach it with a proactive attitude, and your fear will go. Good stuff. Next section of the chapter, he's talking about banishing stage fright. I just want to relate this story again. I was just looking at it because it's very interesting, the recommendation. This woman had stage fright, and Murphy said that she overcame it by the following technique. 3 times a day, she isolated herself in a room. She sat herself down comfortably in an armchair, relaxed her body, and closed her eyes. She stilled her mind and body to the best of her ability. Physical inertia favors passivity and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion. She counteracted the fear suggestion by its converse, saying to herself, I sing beautifully, I am poised, serene, confident, and calm. She repeated the words slowly, quietly, and with feeling from 5 to 10 times at each sitting. She had 3 such quote-unquote sittings every day and 1 immediately prior to sleep at night. At the end of a week, she was completely poised and confident and gave a definitively outstanding audition. Carry out the above procedure and the death of fear is certain. Joey Murphy's great. Marvin and I are, still doing a ton of SP coaching. If you want a free consultation, I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in scheduling a free consultation to resolve your SP problems forever. But one thing that we've consistently seen with SP clients is fear. And often the fear of talking to the SP or of taking the appropriate action. While if they did the thing they feared, for instance, reach out to the SP, even though they don't want to, even though some people in the SP community say you're not supposed to do that, they're fucking wrong. But, if they did the appropriate thing, which often is like reaching out, contacting the SP, the fear they have about the SP situation in general often will fade away. But they don't do it. So many people in the law of assumption, law of attraction, SP space talk a big game. They talk the talk. Dealing with your fear is about walking the walk. If you want help with that, if you want support, join us for a free group call next Wednesday, and feel free to reach out to me for additional one-on-one support over at radicalcounselor.com.